The Anvil F7C Hornet, a medium-sized fighter, the civilian variant of the F7A Hornet. It has the abilities of great maneuverability, speed, firepower, and even cargo space all in one aircraft. The cargo space dimension is 2 SCU, which is traded out by your usually main turret in the middle center of the ship. Now some may see this as a drawback as it removes 2 potential weapon hardpoints on a gimbal, but others could see this as a potential to have modularity with backup firepower on a great ship, or even just using it for some higher yielding cargo, maybe not so legal. Now do remember, you can of course trade this cargo space in the middle back out for your usual 2 weapon hardpoints on a gimbal mount / turret, so all is not lost if you decide you want to try the other game loop. Now the gimbal mounted thrusters make the handling of the ship amazing to use, and you can watch them in action in live game. They move from side to side and up and down to go with whatever way you're trying to fly. It's very fun to watch. Talking about the price of this ship, and you pay the price of $110 without any tax added to buy the ship, and in game it will be for 1,492,700 AUEC from Area 18, so not too bad overall. And the quantum drive of this ship is good for the ship, allowing you to go from Arc Corp to Microtech within one trip without having to refuel. This always helps with bounties and travelling for ease. And of course, if you guys could like this video and subscribe, it helps me out very much, so I thank you for that. So starting off with a ship tour of the Hornet, and as you can see it may look small from down here, but trust me, it's actually quite big. We have our main thruster, which is at the back to give us that great acceleration with nice afterburning kind of protection. We have our weapon hardpoints, one on either wing. These are sized 3, as you can see, one this side and one just over here on this side. In the middle just here is usually where your storage would be, your 2 SCU, but I've got it replaced with a turret right now, which comes with 2 extra size 2 weapons on top, with me having Badger repeaters on them. These wings here do actually fold out when you have activated the landing gear or deactivate it. And there is another sized 3 weapon hardpoint just here on the nose. Now for some reason the ship doesn't come stock or with a weapon hardpoint on the nose, so you will have to buy that one and put it on yourself. Don't know why that is, I don't know if it's just a bug I had, but that was my issue with it. There is a little bit of storage, 250,000 units, but it's not many people that use that. So let's enter the pilot seat. You'll be able to see right here it is actually quite big compared to the character, which is what I was on about earlier. It is pretty massive. Okay, so now that we're in the cockpit, as you can see we have access to 6 MFD screens. This is perfect, you don't really need any more than this, so you do it with everything. You have an ejection bit just down the bottom here. Unlock and lock your ship to the left, open your ladders and stuff. Power, there, engine buttons. And that's it for your buttons. The visibility is quite decent for a fighter. As you can see, you can see all around you pretty much, just not below you. Again, that's kind of blocked by your joystick anyway, so you wouldn't really be able to see below you if you had a viewing port there. Would have been nice though. Now that's it for the ship tour. Only a short one, but it is a small ship. Now moving on to the combat, and for weapons, this ship gets access to 3 sized 3 weapon hardpoints and an extra 2 sized 2 weapons on a gimbal mount / turret that the pilot can control as a module. Remember though that you could have 2 SCU of cargo instead of the turret. If you were to have all the weapons attached, it is a great ship for combat, but the only problem is that the losses of power are quite quick if you have fast firing weapons for all of them, like Panther repeaters for example. Now although you might think you can just trade out the power plant for a better one, this doesn't really do much for this ship. Although if you do trade out the repeaters to laser cannons or some lower usage weapon, you're able to have a more sustained fire for a longer period of time. That's what I did at least, I changed mine out for M5A laser cannons. The pilot also has access to missiles. You get 4 sized 2 missiles and 4 sized 1 missiles stock, but these are of course tradable out for higher sized or lower sized missiles. And whilst it's nice to have missiles, these aren't the most strongest unless you're fighting very small targets, and then they might deal decent damage to them. Sometimes they do work a dream, but sometimes they don't really work very much at all. For shields, you get access to 2 sized 1 shields, and these won't really undertake a lot of fire for a sustained period of time, so do try to be careful when fighting someone. The acceleration of a ship is really nice, and you can get fast and high top speeds, even under gravity use, and I would say it's one of the quickest accelerating ships in the game from what I've seen, and with a high top speed as well. The handling of this ship is also really good, as it has gimbal thrusters which assist you in turning and accelerating because they automatically position themselves in the most optimal angle, which really helps sometimes. Now it's time for a personal review / overview, and this was actually one of the first times that I've used this ship. I have used it before, but I'd never had much interest in it other than recently, but it feels like a really great option for new players after using it who want to get into fighting with its low cost, great maneuverability, weapons and handling. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who's getting into the game, as it can give you a great insight into bigger ships because of its size, whilst also having quite a few weapons available. Just do keep in mind it only has 2 size 1 shields. It is unfortunate, quite unfortunate, that you can't access the cargo storage except from within a terminal, a trading terminal, to buy it and then it goes straight onto it, as this would make the ship 10 times more useful, for example box missions, personal storage, and even maybe enough to get a little vehicle in there. Now you guys might find it more cost effective to get a different Hornet variant with other options, or a different ship entirely, already equipped with, for example, the turret on top, and compared to having to buy it when you're in game. You could buy a stealth option or a radar option as well if you wanted to. I can definitely see this being very useful against harder targets though, because of its options for gun hard points. You could attach a bunch of ballistic weapons on there and deal massive amounts of damage. I do believe that the ship coming stock with cargo is a bit of a gimmick, because only having 2 SCU you will struggle to make a profit, maybe making about 5k maximum if you wanted to do any form of cargo running, but some of you guys out there will probably find a way to use it in a different and more effective way. So that's why I think it would be better if you could access this actually in-game. I don't know if you're meant to be able to, I haven't read anything about it or heard anything about it, but overall it's a great ship and I've really enjoyed using this one, and I might have to keep it in my fleet lineup, maybe a different variant. But anyway, thank you for watching, and that's me, Duffer, out. I'll see you in the next one.